Welcome everyone. It's Cover Forward with the guys. It's your host this week, Terrance. I got Keith. How you feeling?
I'm straight, gravy train, everything doing good. About to start
Yes,
school
sir.
again next week.
Yes, sir. Ski. We got Nick with us tonight. How you feeling, Nick?
Good. Got the fresh cut. No hat tonight. No.
Check him out. Check him out. That boy feeling himself. He done moved to Florida. No hat. Changed his whole appearance. Look at him, Keith.
Jit
Feeling
looking
himself,
like
ain't
he looking like Sheen off of Jimmy Neutron.
Don't do me like that. You're not about to do me like that. I'm not no Duncan Robinson. No, we're not doing that.
Oh my God.
Get that one in the chamber. He's been thinking about that one.
It's funny because we was talking before the pod, and he gonna wait till we start the pod to get on you.
Hey, it's
Oh
all
my
love.
God.
It's all love.
Yeah, it's
Make
definitely
that
all
haircut.
love.
I got one for him.
It's all love. But we're gonna get into this news segment here. First thing we got here, man, is make me want to cry. We got the first week of preseason in the books, man. Football is back. So who were you the most impressed by, Keith?
I got two really, so I hope it's not one of your guys's. I got Chuba Herbert for Carolina.
Okay.
I think Buddy looked really good. He did run out of gas on a play. He broke out in Indiana, and then he tried to hurdle somebody, and they put him on his ass.
Yeah.
But he looked good. I think he'll be a good option because if Chris McCaffrey struggles with being healthy, that's a good option. And then I liked how Dwayne Haskins looked. Because let's be honest, Mason Rudolph ain't the answer. And Dwayne Haskins would probably be the future of that team realistically. Because everybody says it's not a talent issue, it's a maturity issue. So.
Yeah, mental issue.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the move to Pittsburgh might be something that he needed to, being released last year to, now to be in the position that he's in might be what he needed to finally hey, I need to, get it together. What do you think? I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
Plus, Mike Tomlin, is
Oh yeah, he ain't tolerating that.
He's been able to keep a lot of guys, straight, and I think that'd be another good addition for him with Dwayne Haskins, getting to learn under a quarterback who's probably going to be in the Hall of Fame. Not probably, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Ben Roethlisberger one day, and then also having a mentor like Mike Tomlin. I think that'll set him straight.
For sure. I do definitely think that he's definitely the future for them. He did look pretty good. Who are you most impressed by, Nick?
Jacob Eason, bro, the quarterback for the Colts. So obviously the big question mark is Carson Wentz, and news came out today that he's actually trending for starting week 1. So the big question was going to be, going into this year, Carson Wentz's health, and it's already questionable. So the Colts are a team that are built to win now outside of the quarterback position, So with Carson Wentz's health now being in question again, when I saw Jacob Eason, he was low-key dropping dimes. He was hitting people on their spots as they're breaking off routes, a lot of vet type of throws. And, it wasn't something that I expected out of the guy. I'll be honest, I hadn't really seen much from him. So I was pleasantly surprised watching that game.
Yeah, coming out of college, I honestly didn't have high expectations for him. He was a guy that they claimed was on the Patriots radar, and I was like, please don't get him. Just like Jake Fromm.
He just had a big arm.
Please.
He had the dude, Easton. He had a really big arm.
Yeah,
but he was super accurate. Like I was impressed with. It wasn't even just like he was throwing it in tight windows. He had somebody on a slant, and I'm talking about there's 3 defenders right there, hit Buddy on a slant, and they were able to get the first. It wasn't even like one where he killed his receiver. I'm not talking about one of those, but he fit one in and split between the linebacker, the corner, and the safety, and was able to get his receiver some yak yards after that with the throw he made. So I was pretty impressed.
But you got to think if Wentz even remotely is injured and Easton is a bright spot for them, then they're winning right there automatically. Not like winning every game, but that's a win for them.
I mean, if they can win a couple games while Wentz is out, I feel like that's a plus.
Yeah, the Colts are also a team built that can be, kind of like the Eagles were that year, the one that they won the Super Bowl, where a backup quarterback could get it done for you.
Like a plug and play, for sure.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going to go defense here. So I actually like Patrick Surtain, looking at him, like whether it's practice film as well as game film. I mean, he had a pick 6, and then just, seeing clips of him in practice, locking people up, like not falling for double moves, none of that. Like, him coming in the league as advertised, somebody that is currently living up to the hype and where he was drafted at in the draft this year. So I mean, I'm going with Patrick Surtain,
Yeah.
and obviously that defense.
I mean,
we see what they did to the Vikings.
I mean, iron sharper than iron for them, because you got to think Patrick Surtain, he got Bryce Callahan, the slot corner, with him to teach him. And he also going against Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, and KJ Hamler in practice.
Yeah.
So, like, that man going through it in practice, like, definitely. I think that's definitely a bright spot. And they got Kendall Fuller from the Bears. Old boy went to the Broncos. So
their defense, listen now, it's going to be nice. So moving on here. So we actually going to talk about Nick's team a little bit here. And we all know how Nick feels.
Smartest team in the NFL. Let's get it.
We all know how Nick feels about,
when everybody
how we all feel about the vaccination.
Because they didn't get that vaccine. The cream shall rise to the top.
So the Falcons are the first team to be 100% vaccinated is what they are reporting. So Nick, I'm gonna let you go first. You can take it over here on that.
So obviously, all jokes aside, I am very proud that my team is the team that was the first to do it. Again, I'm all for people getting, I've said it, every single week, and I'll keep saying it. I'm all for people wanting to get educated prior to putting something in their body. I totally get that. So the way that I take this is the teams have taken those, the players have taken those steps forward to educate themselves, since the NFL continues to fail their players and not, make sure that everyone is educated on the subject. So I take that as an organizational thing, that they're making sure their players are well equipped to know what they're doing. I hope that teams follow suit in the coming weeks, especially like with the football team, everything with their head coach saying everything that he said about, Rivera going through his health issues and everything. I hope everybody, especially, and let's be honest, from a selfish perspective, we all want to see football this year. We want everybody to be safe. We want everybody to be able to travel and still have people in the stands. And as long as we're doing what we need to do, getting vaccinated, wearing masks, like there's no reason that we should have to have a repeat of 2020. So I hope this is a good sign for the league, that the league is, in terms of the players, are getting educated and getting the vaccine.
Definitely couldn't agree with you more. How you feel, Keith?
I just think it's a big deal, you're seeing the hospitalizations and the people that are in the hospitals now, a good majority, I forget the number, it's above 90.
They say that the hospitals are on the brink of collapsing due to there being no beds in the hospital. You got people that with real illnesses or things that they need to be treated for, and they can't be treated at the hospital because there aren't any beds.
Exactly.
So something that's very serious for sure.
I want to say it's like 90% or higher. All the COVID patients are patients that are unvaccinated. So get the vaccine, people, or get educated on it. Just wear a mask. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like just like Nick said, the most important thing is just being educated. Like you said, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, it's like, to even go to school, to do things like that. For example, we had to get vaccinated. We had to show proof of vaccination. And then, we consume things on a daily basis that we don't know where it's coming from. Like, it don't matter if it's a bottle of water. You don't know where that bottle of water came from. End of the day,
Exactly.
The water from your sink, you don't know where that came from. The food you buy, everything that we're consuming, we don't necessarily know exactly where it came from. That's why, you see people when they get KFC and they got little, ratatouille in there, and they're like, oh, what's this? Now I'm gonna sue. Like, you don't know where that came from at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing wrong with being educated, but definitely make an educated decision. Don't just be, listen to all the conspiracies and everything like that. Definitely listen to the science. Those people are paid to do that. That's what they do. So
there's definitely some sink water kits for sure.
Water hose.
Shouts out to Cole Beasley.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's not even wearing a helmet next year. He's just showing up with a tinfoil hat.
So we got the next news here. So they've been coming out with the top 100 players of 2020, 2021. So who was the biggest surprise so far for you, Keith?
I had it down in my phone. That's why I grabbed this bad boy. It was Corey Davis. I'm not going to lie to you. He was at 91. He shouldn't even have been on the list. It should have been your boy Robbie Anderson on the Panthers. because he's not gonna make 1 through 40. I think they're about to do, or but so he ain't 1 through 40. 91, his stats. I forget. I think Corey Davis had like maybe 80 receptions. Don't quote me on that. But Robbie had 1,000 with like 100 receptions. So realistically, I just feel like Robbie got snubbed and Corey Davis probably shouldn't have been on it. But I think Corey Davis is good.
Yeah, he's good. But I feel like Robbie has been producing though, for sure.
Exactly. So to me, it felt like a smack in the face to Robbie. Yeah, like Corey had 65 receptions for 984 yards. And then Robbie, hold on. He had 95 for 1,000 with 3 tubs. Like, come on now. But Corey did have 5 tubs.
Okay.
That's disrespectful to me.
Okay. Who you got, Nick? Yeah, who you got, Nick?
All right. This one low-key pissed me off. So
that man looked serious about it too.
Bro, I was like so upset when I heard this. When I heard some of the names, I was like, dang, these people should have been higher. And when I heard this dude, so I get it. He had a great year last year, and I think he's gonna have an even better year this year. But Baker Mayfield got 71, bro. Let me tell you some of the names that they put him better than. Okay. Shaquille Barrett, Allen Robinson, Michael Thomas, Marshawn Lattimore, Zach Martin, and Ryan Tannehill, bro. So I'll focus on just one of these. So one, I don't think he's in the same atmosphere as any of them, but Ryan Tannehill, bro, is, in my opinion, I think we've all kind of said it, probably the most underrated quarterback in the NFL right now. And the year that he had with efficiency running the ball was actually, according to Pro Football Focus, ranked the highest rated rushing quarterback in the NFL. Being able to champion that team, obviously, yes, Derrick Henry is a luxury every quarterback would love to have. But the only reason why Derrick Henry is able to get even an ounce of daylight between the tackles is because teams fear Ryan Tannehill's play action ability, and he really didn't have too many weapons. Yes, I understand he's about to have, the king's ransom of weapons this year outside of tight end. But I mean, he's not working with what Baker Mayfield has with the dual threat of running backs and the wide receivers and tight end slew that he has, plus the defense that Baker Mayfield has to play with. So I don't know. That one really was. I know that people want the Browns to win. I feel like everyone wants the Browns to win because they've been so bad for so long. But like, dude, Baker's not that guy yet.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely do have. Honestly, like they probably, no cap, probably have the best, like, talented roster in the AFC.
That's what I'm saying. Top to bottom. That's what Keith's got them winning the Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah, that's my team.
So I mean, like,
it ain't my team. Don't get it wrong. Let's dial that back.
This man's jumping.
I picked them too as like
a rival,
someone that can potentially make it to the bowl from.
I'd be real honest with my predictions, bro. Like, I don't try to fan out too much. I love Ravens flock, but I'm gonna be honest.
But am I crazy? Is that not ridiculous that he's over these dudes?
I think it's ridiculous that he's over those dudes. I think him being over Tannehill isn't that ridiculous. I think the gap between him and Tannehill should not be like what it is. Because what is it? Tannehill's what, 80?
He's in like the 80s. Yeah, he's like 81
and
it's
like Baker was
spots,
like, yeah, that is not at all. Because I'd take Tannehill before him. Stay with me, Nick. Tannehill's better. Tannehill's better, statistically better. But they both have the same situation. But I think people get wrapped up in that Baker probably has Baker has a better deep ball. So I feel like,
but they're probably taking into effect too that where the Browns came from and where they've been, where they've been trending.
Everything. They finally got a good coach. The defense is stacked Baker, top to bottom.
People forget. They are, but Baker changed that whole culture of dog pound. Like, if they didn't get him, like, they wouldn't. I promise you. And he's not even that great of a quarterback. But what he did for that franchise, I feel like is huge.
All I'm going to say is, had Johnny Manziel been put into this situation and wasn't a cokehead, it would have been the same thing. All right, that's all I'm going to
say. Oh my God! For me, man, I picked somebody who, if they were listening to this podcast, probably get tired of us picking on them. I'm going with J.J. Watt here at 66.
My man living off the past fame. I ain't gonna lie. I think JJ Watt a cool dude. He and them early sack numbers of 20.
Oh yeah,
for 3 seasons.
Man, listen, I don't, like you said,
But it ain't just a
Previously,
number. It ain't just a
yeah.
numbers thing, though. I will give JJ Watt that before you get on the spiel.
But previously, he was dominant. But
He's not as dominant as he is, but he is a headache because he knows how to move and he knows how to impact the run game. Like he still requires to get 2 blockers. You know
I mean, he's a big dude, and he's disruptive. But 66.
I ain't gonna lie, 66 high.
All right, so check this out. My man's had 36 solo tackles. My boy has 5 sacks, which was tied for 56.
36 tackles.
5 sacks, which was tied for 56.
So, do y'all think he'll do better with Arizona this year?
I mean, if they keep Chandler Jones, yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, Chandler's coming.
I'm huge on the NFL nowadays because look at Khalil Mack. Like, we all know Khalil Mack's still probably like a top 5 defensive end in the NFL, despite the fact that his numbers don't reflect it anymore. I'm huge on. I think going forward, you now have to have 2 top tier defensive linemen to continue production because once teams get that scouting report on you, if you can't get pressure from multiple angles,
unless you have Aaron Donald.
Okay, but again, like he's the human bulldozer. He can take 3 guys at once, And even with his numbers being crazy, his disruption is probably like one of the greatest of all time. Like even with his numbers, I still think like just disruptive wise, he's probably the most disruptive defensive tackle of all time.
Nah, you're definitely on to something where having 2 of those guys would be beneficial because like the football team got Chase Young, Montoya Sweat. The Browns got Jay.
I honestly, why I think that's why they did it because teams now realize, okay, Myles Garrett isn't fluke. He didn't just have he wasn't Vic Beasley. He didn't just have like 1 or 2 good years. Like this is a problem
every year. Yeah, he's a problem.
So now you get Jadeveon Clowney in there, and you can't just because if they just focus on Myles Garrett, people will be talking about a comeback with Jadeveon Clowney. So it's like,
I think it's really like nowadays just pairing people together. Yeah. I meant to bring this up with the not too much in the Jamal Adams spiel. I tweeted it earlier. You know how people say Jamal Adams isn't that great in coverage, right? We all know he's not. I say it. Yeah, I say it.
He's not. He's not.
He's really not. Yeah.
But, excuse me. He fits the Seattle system because he's paired with Contrell Diggs, who is better in coverage and not in coverage, just ball hawking. So having them together works perfectly. You know what I mean?
It was like an Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor.
Yeah, I think it's I think teams are getting better at, like Nick said, pairing people together.
Yeah.
Like Diggs got paired with Josh Allen and the other receivers he has with him.
Yeah.
Like I think when you compare somebody like Kareem Hunt has Chubb, like they're paired together. They're a great duo. Like I think that's where people are leaning towards more now. It's just like, okay, let's see what we compare these guys with to complement each other. Because before, like I feel like dudes weren't even compliments to each other. They were just dealing with somebody that was so dominant. Like the other dude was just getting open. You know what I mean? Like Calvin Johnson probably got a lot of people paid. Other than Nate Burles, like I don't know the other people that Calvin Johnson had paired with him, but they were probably getting off because Calvin Johnson was commanding everything.
His Roy Williams was one of them.
Exactly. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. So we already Nick kind of dove into it a little bit about Wentz coming back potentially week 1. So it's actually rumored that Wentz and Nelson are trending towards playing in week 1. We all know that that's huge for the Colts. I mean, one of the best linemen in the league. And then, we all want to see what Wentz is going to do coming back, from this down year that he had last year. So quick spill on that, Keith. How you feeling?
Just as long as they come back before week 3, I don't think it's a panic mode. Like even if they're not ready for week 1, I feel like it'd still be fine. But as long as you get them back early, it's gonna be good. Especially Quentin Nelson at that.
Oh, for sure.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, I know we want to see what Carson Wentz is gonna do, but Quentin Nelson means way more to that offense than Carson Wentz at this point, as far as I'm concerned. Because I mean, we've seen what you can do with pretty much anyone, whether it be running back or quarterback, if you've got solid protection. I mean, if you can protect a quarterback and then block, and Quentin Nelson's one of the best guards in the NFL. So, I mean, that's huge, especially on the interior with guys like,
is the best. He is the best guard in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I said offensive lineman, period. But yeah, guard.
He top 5 offensive lineman. Like if you told me to spell off 5 right now.
Yeah, he might be the best offensive lineman.
I'd probably go. I'd homer, go Stanley, and then I go Nelson. Yeah, and it's crazy because I don't know. It's wild when you think about it. Like splitting it up. Center, you got Corey Lindsey, so he could probably be there. Right tackle. Shit, I mean, I don't know. Right tackle is kind of weird. I feel like it's not.
Yeah,
it's not.
it's
It's
tough
not
to
that.
name off
Yeah.
the top 5 offensive linemen. It's definitely a tall task there. I mean, moving on here, we got Justin Fields will work with the starters and against first team defense entering week 2 of the preseason. So, not gonna say I called it a couple episodes ago about Fields potentially starting week 1, but it might be a reality if this is the case. But how you feeling on that, Nick? About my boy Justin Fields? None of us picked him as our standout.
Yeah, all right. So this is what I'll say. I was actually talking with Keith about this. So I was actually in the middle of getting my haircut when that game was going on. So I didn't get to go see like most of the game till afterwards. I was shocked. I was pleasantly surprised with how well he played. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm not an Andy Dalton hater by any means necessary. I actually loved him back with, the Cincinnati Bengals. They had all those. I think they had the longest streak of making the playoffs, but also never won a game. So that was nuts. But I don't know. Andy Dalton to me at this point in his career is a solid backup. That's like, I know he had a bad year with the Cowboys last year, but I think he's better than that. But I honestly think if you're going to use your number 1 draft pick that early on in the first round on a quarterback, the fans want to see it.
Yeah, he has.
Everybody wants to see it. I think, and I mean, with what I saw, I feel like he can definitely prove himself. So yeah, it looks like they're trending in the direction. He might be the starter week 1.
I mean, yeah, he said the game speed felt slow.
That was where he messed up. That's where he messed up. He should have just kept quiet, said, "Oh, I felt good. It was nice being out there." But because now you put a target on your back.
I mean, but he's a ball player, though. I mean, he's confident. He's out there performing well. He's out there performing well. Hey, he's out there performing well. That's all that matters at the end of the day. I mean, for him, for somebody that's been playing ball for so long, end of the day, I feel like he's already had training camp. Now he's got a preseason game under his belt and everything. He's had plenty of practices, joint practices.
I'm gonna say,
honestly, the guy runs a 4.340. He has a bomb for an arm. He's accurate and he's smart. I mean, he has all the tangibles and intangibles to be a good quarterback. I just feel like for him, it was just more so, he was getting bashed and criticized and don't know why.
The Bears, I'm just gonna let you know. All right. So are you ready for their week 1 matchup? They play the Rams. So that's tough. Tell me Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald are going to hear, yeah, the game's is slow to me. Them dudes are not going to take that personally on your first, if he's the starter week 1.
I want you to know we're talking about pairings. That's a crazy pairing to have, bro.
I mean, if we talking about the game speed, I'm not saying for him
like, hey, bro, we played the Rams week 1. He was like,
I'm not saying for him to be going at Jalen Ramsey as far as that.
Yeah,
goes.
But it's just the comment. If they're gonna be in that locker room, you know how it was, Terrance. You played college football. If some dude was talking junk, period, not even if it was about y'all, if they were talking junk, period, like, oh, I'm the best or I'm this, you're like, all right, we're gonna see. And now he's gonna.
But I think that falls on the thing of backing it up. Like,
if he backs it up, by all means.
Yeah,
no, not yeah.
Well.
There's a difference between. I don't think what he said was cocky or like arrogant. I think like he genuinely was like, no, like it felt kind of slow to him.
It felt normal. He felt comfortable. I think that's pretty much what he's saying.
I don't think he meant it in like I'm about to light this.
You're right, this league up. But I think like the Jordan meme, like, and I took that personally.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's what makes it funny. But to me, like, he doesn't seem like he was arrogant or like he was like cocky about it. Like, oh, I'm about to trash everybody this year. I think he was just like, oh, this kind of slowed me. But I do got a point on this week 1 started where I went in on this. Look, Andy Dalton has not won a single playoff game, okay? Let's stop comparing it to all these other situations where the quarterback, the starter, and then the rookie, the rookie gets a grace period because the starter is playing so well and they can learn behind him. All right. Brett Favre is not Andy Dalton, okay? Andy Dalton is nothing close to Brett Favre. Throw that shit out the window. Andy Dalton's not even Alex Smith.
He got little wiggle room for error, and he out of there.
He ain't Alex Smith. Alex Smith got 2 playoff wins I think Alex got 3. Dak Prescott got a playoff win. Cam Newton went to the Super Bowl and is MVP. That's why you can have that discussion in New England right now. It's like, well, what if Cam just flashes the clock back? Which I don't think Cam will. But, it's the question of like, well, he's showed you before he can do that. So why would we not play him? You got that. Jimmy G has went to the Super Bowl. I'm naming a bunch of people that are better than Andy Dalton. So
listen.
The Bears.
I said he was the bridge. That was my whole thing.
He ain't no damn bridge because you gotta look. The difference is the Bears realistically, even if Andy Dalton balls, Packers are going to win the division, and Minnesota's going to be in the mix for 2. So realistically, your best chance is to get 3. And we got to look at it's the NFC West with the Rams, the Niners, and everybody in it. They're probably going to be the team that has 3 playoffs with the wild card, the winner and then the wild card teams. So then you got that. If you want to save your franchise and your fan base, you got to start Fields because you look at it. Allen Robinson, you tagged him this year.
It brings a different dynamic to that team.
Yeah, you tagged him this year. If he doesn't play good with Dalton, he's leaving. So then what is Fields going to have? Then you're really going to have to trade Khalil Mack. Your defense is getting old. Like the offensive line is not great. So what do you think Andy Dalton's going to do behind that offensive line?
I was just about to say, you just touched on a big one, though. I really hope they don't do to him like what the Bengals did to Joe Burrow. Because, I'm sure y'all heard, but the news is that Joe Burrow's been favoring that knee heavy and is kind of scared to really, let loose on that.
Be scared too. Them dumbasses.
No, I'm not saying he shouldn't be, but I'm just saying we could potentially already be talking about a ruined quarterback, right? Someone who had tons of potential, and the Bears playing in a tough division. And like you just said, yeah, I understand Justin Fields can run, but if he gets all it takes is one blast, and he's out for the year and might not be the same after that. Look at RG3.
I mean, I hear that, but their line is definitely respectfully better than Cincy's because Cincy.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, I'm not talking about that. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just saying in general, I agree with you that they should, to give, because they're not winning it this year. They're probably not making the playoffs. So your goal here is to build and give your fans hope. And I think
honestly, I feel like Justin Fields.
Don't you say he's gonna take them to the playoffs?
He's like a different quarterback than like a Joe Burrow too. Like I feel like he's more physical per se. Like Joe Burrow, like think about Joe Burrow running to Chase Young. Like, come on, that one's smart.
But I'm not even doing that though because this is
don't lie to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow move around. Like,
but I'm not. Justin Fields different though.
The Bengals gave Joe Burrow Barry Sanders line from the 90s, all right? That's what they gave him to play with. So I don't want to hear that. Yes, obviously Justin Fields is way more athletic, but Burrow's got wheels too, and obviously their games
I'm just saying from like
what I'm saying is just running them
physicality point.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like they put Joe Burrow in a horrible situation, basically set him up to get hurt. I hope the Bears don't do that.
I hope not too, but I definitely think that he'll be playing sooner than later for sure.
I remember I said early on it was week 9 against the Steelers. He was going to be already playing at that point. Like the Steelers were going to have the game plan for him, and it was going to change everything. I just feel like if you want to save your locker room, if Matt Nagy wants to be the coach next year, you're going to Fields, bro. You playing? You're going to play Fields, and you're going to figure out how to improve.
At some point, the blame got to go on him. Like I was thinking that last week.
I don't even know if you can blame him because he took Mitch Trubisky to the playoffs.
But I was just looking at, that defense. Come on, man. It ain't had nothing to do with Mitch Trubisky.
But he's a defensive coach. You know what I'm saying? So he's working with the defense, and they got Mitch Trubisky.
And it was the GM that wanted Trubisky.
Yeah,
so
they didn't want
Nagy
Mitch Trubisky. It was just like, GM. Oh, you gave me Trubisky, and I got the dudes I want on defense. So I guess I'm gonna try this. Let's be honest. They got to the playoffs last year. If they would have kept Kendall Fuller this year,
Trubisky made a Pro Bowl.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
We ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah, they made the playoffs last year. If you would have kept Kendall Fuller, then you probably have more to talk about. But now you're looking super weak at corner. Your offensive line they just signed Jason Peters from the Eagles. So I mean, maybe he can save you a little bit of grace. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, but like I said, I feel like Justin Fields. Ain't no reason to bridge him with Andy Dalton because what is he about to learn from Andy Dalton? How to lose in the playoffs?
We're going to see how it turns out for sure. I mean, I think he's going to be starting sooner or later.
Hey, if Vontaze Burfict doesn't blow up, was it Antonio Brown?
Yeah.
If he doesn't blow up Antonio Brown, Dalton's got a playoff win, bro. That was not on him.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've seen him especially because they're in the same division of the Ravens. Like he's
a
good,
multi-time Pro Bowler,
but
he's a good quarterback.
It's not a quarterback where it's like there's a reason to bridge him. You know what I mean?
He's just.
I know. I feel like we're getting a little disrespectful.
He's just one of those like Kirk Cousins type of players. Like,
nope, I'll take him over Kirk.
So no, I'm saying like they're in the same type. They're the same type of player. They're not going to put you over the edge.
I'm not gonna lie. You said he's not Alex Smith. I think him and Alex Smith are the perfect comparison.
You think?
Oh yeah, I think they're like because the thing is there was just a lot of years.
Alex Smith's best comparison is Dak.
I mean, maybe
Dak and Alex are, I think, 1-1.
The reason why I say that is, well, one, Dak hasn't been in the league that long. But look, Alex Smith was in that tough division with the Niners. He was when he was with the Niners. He was in that tough division with Seattle. And then just like that, Andy Dalton had to play in that tough division with the Ravens and the Steelers. So it wasn't like a guarantee. So the fact that I think it was 9, I could be wrong, but I think he made 9 straight playoff appearances.
Yeah, him and AJ went to the playoffs all the time.
Yeah.
So the fact that they didn't win, I get that's a big deal, but making it to the playoffs is tough enough in that division.
That's an accomplishment, but I mean, at some point, you got to win the game.
Bro, you got Peyton Manning every year in the playoffs. You got Tom Brady every year in the playoffs. You're in a division with the Steelers and the Ravens, who are perennial franchises. I mean,
you got to win the game.
I cut him a little bit
at some point.
He should have against the Steelers, but
I'm just saying, at some point,
they had 2 because AJ McCarron almost won them a game too.
Yeah.
So they had chances. Don't get me wrong. They just were like, I don't know. I ain't bridging them with Fields. It don't make no sense. Because you got to think though, like I'm saying, if Allen Robinson don't get the targets he wants this year, he leaving.
Yeah.
He ain't sticking around. Oh, you gonna have Andy Dalton throw me the ball this year? And it's all right, maybe he's slightly better than Mitsubishi, but Justin Fields could be throwing me the ball, and I could be like, you know what, maybe I'll stay here another year, or I'll stay and build a career here. That's different,
Potentially. I mean,
yeah. Like, are you gonna
make him want to stay? That might make him want to stay, especially if he gets to develop that chemistry with him. It's like, okay, I see we can be something.
Exactly, because are you gonna be like, oh, I got all these targets from Andy Dalton? Is Chicago gonna be like, let's pay Andy Dalton, and we're gonna ride with Andy Dalton? You moved up to get Fields. Let's be honest.
Andy Dalton almost out of the league at this point, to be honest.
He a certified backup for sure on the right team. Because I will give him the thing. Last year with the Cowboys, he did get COVID, he did get a concussion, and he did get thrown into that.
Okay. We'll
okay. I didn't judge him off. I didn't judge him off last year. I judged him off.
Yeah, I didn't judge him off last year either. But I mean, we definitely gonna have to see how that quarterback battle plays out for sure. And now that we, I guess, see it live, how does the number change feel? To me, it just feels real awkward to see, running backs with the number.
You played
1.
in college.
Yeah, but we talking about NFL though.
You played it. Hey,
it's weird to see the NFL with those numbers though.
The shit look real normal to me because on Madden, I be giving people number 5, number 3.
Well,
it look normal.
I don't know. It just feel weird to me just seeing. It's like, okay, Randy Moss go out there right now. He was like, I want to wear number 1. This is weird.
That'd be live.
I'm not saying it's not dope. I'm just saying it's just weird to see.
All I'm saying is we should go back in time and let Reggie Bush wear number 5 in the NFL, and that dude's a 10-time Pro Bowler, bro. I don't care what anybody says.
I'm just saying it looks weird. That's all I'm saying about it. So move on to this halftime segment here. We got the no fun league. So is the NFL taking it too far with the new taunting rule? I feel like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, after that highlight of the dude, I think he was with the Colts.
Yes.
Pulled the entire defense with him, and all he did was flex. He literally just flexed. And I get he looked at the guy, but I think it's just the way he got up. He flexed in that direction. He was probably hyping himself up. You could tell by what he said, like, you can't hold me back or whatever, like put my team on my back, whatever. He did. You could tell he wasn't even saying something crazy to the guy. He didn't do like the one in the guy's face.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just made a crazy, like, I don't care who you are. You could be the most humble dude on earth. You do what he did in that play right there when you're fighting for a roster spot. Like, there's no way you're not hyped.
I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. Now, if you out there like a key to leave, snatching chains.
Yeah, snatching chains by all means. Throw all the flags in the world. But if that's what they're talking about, like stuff like that is
or
punishable.
putting the ball in
like,
somebody's face or something. Like, oh, I just ran you over, then get up and put the ball in his face or drop it.
Or do the
like,
Marshawn Lynch hold my dick thing. Yeah.
All right, bro. Like, okay, that's a little excessive. But
I think they waited too long to do this because they could have been implementing things to be like, all right, y'all taking this a little too far. Now it's just like, bro, come on. Like the Tyreek Hill, the peace sign.
They're so inconsistent with these
exactly.
People
think Tyreek Hill just did the peace sign to the Bucks last year. Just been doing that his whole career. I had to go back and watch.
No, he's been doing that. Yeah,
bro, he's been blowing by people going, woo.
Yeah.
What was the flag though is when he backflipped. I would have given the flag for that. When he peace signed him, I would have whatever peace sign. When he backflipped into the end zone, I was like, all right, bro, like, come on, this is a bit excessive. Because then you got Antoine Winfield getting in his face, like, bro, imagine if it would have been like Brandon Marshall or somebody that would have got up and got off on Antoine Winfield for getting in his face like that. You know what I'm saying? Like Tyreek Hill just walked away. Like, imagine if it was a hothead. Then you got a whole other issue. You're like, all right, well.
Yeah, if it's excessive, okay. But if it's just something like you just ran for a big pickup for a first down or something, and you get up and, you know, you boom. Or you got people that get up, they spin the ball, all of that. Like, I hope they don't. Normal. But the thing is, they so inconsistent with throwing the flags. It's just like they pick and choose. They got to either, if you're gonna do it, do it. If you're not, don't do it. But I feel like I don't want to take away, you know, some of the excitement from the games because, shoot, you know, when we're at home and we watching the TV, we getting just as hype as them on the field. Yeah. So, you know.
Nick Cat doing the stretch over there, but it's just it's just some stuff they should have been reeled in and they didn't. So now it's just kind of like it's getting dubbed the no fun league because y'all just not, like you said, not being consistent with it. And the times you should call it, you don't call it. Like y'all let them people watch Odell Beckham and Josh Norman beat the dog shit out of each other, like live. Y'all could have they could have kicked both of them out the game before it even got that far, like got to the point.
But honestly, like my point of it, like you remember how when teams used to get pissed, like they used to be like super mad at Cam because every time he would score, boy, he got there dancing for 10 minutes, right? After
they was on Cam for that.
So
remember
he got
the fight.
But my thing is, it's like, okay, I understand that you get mad at him for doing that, but if you don't want him to do it, don't let him score. Don't let him make a big play.
It's real simple. I feel like if you ain't getting in someone's face, like legit taunting him, like with Antoine Winfield, when he knee next to Tyreek Hill, I'm telling you, if that would have been anybody else, it could have went way wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like Tyreek Hill, thankfully, was just like, all right, I'm going to turn the other way. Like, imagine if it had been someone else. So
that's just my thing, though. Like,
if
it's like, you know, excessive, okay. But
yeah, you can't be excessive. Some dudes, you get in their face or you do the wrong thing, like it's gonna turn the whole other way. People gonna be fighting on the field again. You know?
Yeah, they OD. You know, running to the symbol in the middle of the field, the popcorn and stuff again. You know, that's okay.
And then you got some dudes with like legit beef, like Golden Tate and Jalen Ramsey. Like they really got like problems, bro.
Yeah.
So, man, I don't know.
I feel like some of this stuff you got to know the backstory, and it's like with the Antoine Winfield thing with Tyreek Hill. We all know that Tyreek Hill did them first when he was burning them for 200 yards in the first half, and then when they come back in the Super Bowl, and it's like, okay, I might let it slide because I know football, so I'm the ref. I'm gonna let it slide. I know what happened the first time.
Hey, I ain't letting you get in nobody's face like that, bro. I'd let it slide if he wasn't that close to her. Like if he would have peace-signed him like this.
You gotta know the backstory. You gotta know that he peace-signed me as he was leaving me for 200 yards in the first half, the first game.
But I don't remember if they flagged Tyreek when he flipped in the end zone. I can't remember.
They don't never flag them for flipping and all of that. I know they start taking the the dunking on the goalposts and stuff out of the game.
Because people are messing up the goalposts. Goalposts be sitting straight in it. You're sitting there like, Nick Cat just jumped on the screen with us.
Bro,
trying to be famous
crazy right now.
Yeah, trying to be famous.
Don't be the no fun league, bro. Just find a happy medium, please. Please,
just be consistent. Whatever it's gonna be. So when the time comes to,
bro, they got dudes out here playing Duck Duck Goose in the end zone.
So when we see it, we know what it is.
Funny. I like that.
They was doing the canoes. Everybody sitting in there.
They need to cut my man. They need to cut Chad Johnson and Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, and Terrell Owens, they need to cut them like the ultimate check. Because you saw DK Metcalf grab the camera. Like,
hey, listen,
bro.
remember my boy got the phone?
Yeah.
The phone was
goalpost.
dope. When he pulled the Sharpie out of his sock and signed the ball and threw it, that was dope.
Yeah, that was lame. When they fined Zeke last year or the year before, or whatever, for jumping
into the Salvation Army thing.
Yeah, that was lame for finding him for that.
See, I feel like when they do something like that,
and then he donated too.
Yeah, when it's off on their own, like that's not bad. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're legit taunting someone, that's when it's like, bro,
yeah,
like doing the little, hey, we get the first knock through the hand signal this way. What is that doing to anybody? They ain't, bro. Whoop.
It's just certain things. I got
tradition. The first down. Yeah,
it's like a certain thing. It's like a tradition. Like somebody gonna get hyped and they might do, like you say, boom, first down. You got the Lambeau leap. You got Cam dancing in the end zone. Like stuff that you know is gonna happen.
Leap, I'll stop watching football. Bro.
Yeah, I'm letting you know. If I was in the NFL, scored a touchdown in Lambeau, I'm doing the Lambeau leap.
I'm saying it's like a tradition. So it's like you might as well just like let it slide. That's not like taunting. But I feel like hopefully they're not starting to call like flags, throwing flags and stuff like that. And it's gonna take a lot of the fun from the game.
And Cam was turned when he was doing that dance, bro. That shit was annoying, but it was turned up on the field. And couldn't nobody stop him, too. That was the crazy thing. Like everybody was complaining about it. He just
yeah. In your face.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, if you don't want him to dance, don't let him in the box. That's all I gotta say. So moving on here to 4th and 5. So have the Jets finally found their franchise quarterback?
No, it's been one game, bro.
Yeah, I'm with Nick, bro. You can't that franchise is so terrible historically with quarterbacks. Like you can't just be like, oh, the preseason game, Zach Wilson. Yep, you're the man. It's nice to see him and Corey. It's nice to see him and Corey Davis be on a good like chemistry page, but you're gonna have to see Zach Wilson go through the whole year. And I'm saying he don't even got to be electric this year. But if that man can get like 20 tubs and keep his interceptions down below 10, that's a good year for him.
He might end up seeing ghosts. You know what I mean? Like
exactly. Hey, what if you have some shit like that happen again?
It was and it wasn't one game. It was one preseason game.
Like
you're right. I mean, he had some bright moments from the game.
But don't
get me wrong. He played well. I think he can make throws. It wasn't look like, there's some guys you see in the preseason, you're like, oh yeah, this will never work out. I'm not saying it's that either.
I still don't think he should have went number 1 or number 2. I still don't think he should have went that high.
But like, it's weird. Like we're saying, it's the first preseason. Like Trevor Lawrence for the Jags, bro. He did the weirdest thing I seen. Like I watched his game. He'd get in the pocket. The pocket would be full on like collapsing in front of him, like around him. He wouldn't throw it away. He wouldn't like move a little bit. He just sat in the pocket, which I guess. And then at that point, why are you sitting in the pocket? Just throw it away. Like you're risking getting drilled by one of these dudes. I mean, you're still completing throws. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I don't know. It's a learning curve for him. But yeah, Zach Wilson with the Jets.
All right. So rumor has it that the Eagles players see Hurts as their QB1. So should he be the franchise guy?
Boy, fire this coach. Why are we even talking about this, bro? Like, it's the same thing with New England. It's just you can't tell if Cam is washed. Joe Flacco's washed. Okay, like it's gonna be two completely different offenses if one starts and the other one starts.
Yeah,
it really will though.
Like
that's my thing is like, especially with Philly, like y'all don't have an identity either way. Which way you go doesn't matter. And then if you're sitting here flip flopping like this, like a bad season's about to get worse. Like I think I already said they had like 2 or 3 wins in the column maybe this year.
And we all had them at the bottom of the barrel.
Bro, like New England has
you're at the bottom of the worst division in football.
Exactly.
Like, you're out here flip flopping between quarterbacks. Like just throw the towel boy in there and call it a day.
Bro, like at least New England has the thing of like, well, we're competitive regardless. We just need to figure out who we're gonna put back there. Like, are we gonna go run by committee like we did last year? Or are we gonna let Mac throw the ball a bit more? Bro, the Eagles have nothing going for them except for Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts and the tight ends. Like, I'm low-key on the ship. The Eagles should sell all the older dudes.
That's what we talked about previously, too.
And let the young dudes just go through the rut for a year, maybe 2.
Yeah, we talked about that previously. Fletcher Cox and all of them. We talked about this already.
Like the coach looks like a dumbass. Like why he literally look what he did for y'all last year. And you want to name this man the starter? For what? Like, yes, Joe Flacco has a big arm. Yes, he won a Super Bowl for my Ravens. Yes, and he had a elite playoff run that year.
At this point in his career, he's not that guy.
No, bro.
He had like
And
the
people-
Dirk Nowitzki run that year. Like what Dirk did with Dallas that year. That's what
I
was
tell
balling.
Flacco did.
Flacco was
I tell
balling.
people all the time that year he took him one of the best like playoff runs easily.
Peyton Manning should have won that game though, or the Broncos should have won that game. Peyton Manning should have won the Super Bowl.
Oh, the Mile High one.
Yeah, I mean that team failed him.
Hey,
yeah, they let him down.
So moving on here. So how likely do y'all feel is it that Michael Thomas is going to get traded? Do y'all feel like he's going to remain in New Orleans, or you feel like
100% chance?
Jit gone, bro, go, bro. The way they're like publicly beefing, like we said, like I think it was last pod we brought it up. They're like publicly kind of beefing.
Sean Payton don't want to be like, oh, we're looking at. I think it's just all to kind of make them just try to keep it low because he's saying, oh, no doubt he's going to be here all season. But everybody else senses otherwise.
If you want me to play there, ain't no way you about to say what you said publicly about me getting the surgery like that. Like nonchalantly in that interview, and you can tell Sean Payton was angry in that interview, like talking about it. So yeah, get me out of there. Either Belichick about to send over a 3rd round pick to get Mike.
Hey,
Thomas,
you hear me? Hey.
Or
I'll take it.
I just feel like it ain't repairable, especially after that. And then you had the flag situation, like, bro, I don't know what.
Yeah, it was a lot going on for sure. And I mean, just like you say, I feel like you say, buddy out of there. And moving on here, we did have, the Seahawks now budging on the contract with Adams. And if they didn't budge, he was potentially going to file a grievance if he got tagged. But today, they agreed to a contract, making him the highest paid safety in the league with his contract 4 years. I believe it was $80 million, so $18 million a year.
38 guaranteed, I think.
38 guaranteed. And originally, I believe they were trying to keep his number just below Bobby Wagner, since he's obviously the OG on the team. They want to keep him as the highest paid defender on the team. And I mean, I guess it's good that they ultimately came to terms today. So how do y'all feel about his contract though? Him being the highest paid safety in the league now?
I'm gonna let Nick go with that one first.
I mean, I don't think he's the best safety in the league, but it's never that way. It's like a top 5 guy. He's probably still top 5. Always ends up with the market setter, right? Like we saw.
Maybe it's just the team, his fit for that team.
And then he's also, even though like we always say, he's not the best in coverage, but he is a very good guy. Like he can kind of move around if you need him to. He can play a little bit of outside linebacker. He loves rushing the pass. I mean. And he's not trash in coverage. When you say he's not the best, it's just there's a lot of guys that are way better specifically in coverage where, he's looking to fucking take your head off.
For a team lacking that corner, you think they would have a safety that is good in coverage to guard the tight end. It's a weird fit,
but I think he's a great player. So I will never say a player doesn't deserve their money. I'm all about players getting paid. Even though I don't think Kirk Cousins is that good of a quarterback, hey, he finessed that team out of 88 mil. So, congrats to him and his family.
My man's was still living out of vans. 88 million fully guaranteed.
The Jamal Adams thing is just like like Nick said, get your money, bro. Like get paid, run the franchise for all the coins you can.
Definitely.
But he was banged up a little bit last year. Seattle kind of got banged up. The old line was terrible. I feel like for them, they have to win this year.
I think it's just
not get to the Super Bowl. Like y'all got to win this year because you got to think DK Metcalf got to get paid, right? If Bobby look at you and be like, "I want more money," you already got your left tackle. He wants more money,
and also
Russ don't want to be there.
Yeah, I was about to say Russell there was already rumors that he wanted to get traded. I don't know how they settled that flame down.
Well,
so
they fixed the line. They got Gabe Jackson.
I know, but still I know he's got weapons, but like the team, like you said, I get that they're in a win now situation, but they're not built to win right now, in my opinion. I think they're a good team.
I think
offensively they got offensive firepower, but on defense, no.
I think they're built,
terrible.
But for
they're
them
like the Bills though, they don't really have a running game.
Nah, no, wait. If Chris Carson's healthy, they got a run game. But the
their
thing is,
defense is
if
the
he's
problem.
healthy,
Their
like you
defense is the
said.
problem. That's the thing.
But I think they just wagered too much with the first round picks on betting on Jamal Adams because you knew that's the thing I have a problem with. They knew they had to pay him. Like it wasn't no weird thing. Like every team that was inquiring about getting him from the Jets knew that he was gonna have to get paid big money because how he was playing. So it wasn't like that was like a foreign concept. And
they kind of set themselves up for failure because they didn't nip that in the butt out the gates. They're like, oh, let's let him run out this contract rather than just extending him right there.
Exactly. Yeah. So you had that issue, and he didn't make them like he didn't turn that whole defense around to it's a championship. Like I'm telling you, like if they don't win this year, it looks stupid. Like why did
I hate to say it, they probably thought he was like going to be Earl Thomas, and it turned out he wasn't Earl Thomas. You know what I mean? So
I mean, no, he had a great year, but he was banged up. So like that's the other thing. He was injured. So you got to think this year he's gonna have to be Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor.
I mean, he has an impact, but I feel like they thought he was going to be that missing piece to make them a contender. As far as defensively, I think that's why they went, all
plus they need a lot
chips
on
in.
defense. One guy's not going to fix it.
Yeah, they just let Shaquille Griffin go to the Jags, the corner. Like,
I mean, they had him last year when they went and got him though. So I'm thinking maybe they felt like he was going to put them over the top to be like, okay, we can contend if we hit him. We're definitely going to contend because I mean, there's no way you sending that many first rounders if you don't feel like he's going to be the game changer for us.
Not with that shit ass offensive line, bro. There's no way y'all thought getting Jamal. I know Chris from the Ballhawks podcast about to be heated about this Seattle segment, but I just feel like if they don't win and they're in a tough division, so like it just sounds like
that's my thing about a lot of these teams. Seattle's definitely one of them. Is like, even if your team gets better, like you got to think about situations, your division. You got to think about your schedule, and like they're in probably the hardest division in football. So yeah, so I don't know.
Like the cat don't even agree with this shit. So, but then like I said, you're paying Russ, you gotta go. You're gonna have to pay Metcalf here soon. He keeps balling. Like it's
Tyler Lockett, you got
Tyler Lockett, Brown, or is it Brown on the left? Their left tackle, I think his name is. He wants to get paid. You don't really. You got Gerald Everett from the Rams at tight end. I think he's serviceable. You can have him. Chris Carson's probably going to be due to get paid. It's just a lot of pieces. I feel like they didn't do the situation healthy. Like they could have maybe developed talent and then got another free agent instead of trading their first round picks.
Yeah, I mean when they got them, they should have just extended them when they got them.
Yeah, that too. So it's too tough of a division, too much going on. They're low-key screwed. Like, you don't win this year, good luck, because shit gonna start getting hairy. Like people got those
people
windows.
Gonna be like, whoa, I'm out of here.
Yeah, like how we said, people got those windows, like the Ravens window. I'm telling you right now, as a Ravens fan, the future's bright because everybody's young. But the window to win a Super Bowl is this year or next year, and that's it.
Yeah, I think we were thinking about Seattle as a dynasty back when they had the Legion of Boom, and they only got one Super. I mean,
they lost the other one,
the Super Bowl, but you only got one with that team.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. People are doing it. It's so funny. I got to this argument with this dude from Facebook about it. Not even an argument. He was calling Lamar a running back at quarterback. Fun fact: Jit threw for more yards than the yards he rushed for, but for some reason, this guy thought he rushed for more yards than he threw.
Lamar, I believe, since he started, has had the most touchdowns, like even more than Pat Mahomes and everything, throwing, right?
Exactly. That's even besides the point, though. But if you look at it, people don't count Russ's Super Bowl on him. Like Russ gets a lot of flack because he won that Super Bowl off of Lynch and Legion of Boom, And I think Russ is special. Like I like Russ, but he gets so much.
Russ
shit
won his
for
Super Bowl on his rookie deal too, right?
I think it was that, Russ really bloomed after that. Like, I think that he was good. Don't get me wrong, he was good. But then it was like, like
he's always been getting better.
He took a leap after everyone started leaving and the team was falling apart. And they're like, well, damn, at least we got this quarterback. And then people were like, yeah, dang, he's better than we thought he was. And it was like, now he's been like MVP caliber. He's never won one, but he's been MVP caliber pretty much every year.
Yeah, so it's like, what are y'all really doing? Because now you got this man. Granted, he does take a cliff dive sometimes. Sometimes he starts off real hot. And he'll come back down to human form. He
didn't cliff dive, but this last year he was like starting out as like one of the greatest seasons of all time.
Jit was rolling last season.
He was.
So you got to think about that. I just think it's
You just
big
gotta
for
let him do
him.
his thing. Don't cool him down. Like let him go.
The reason why when you get to open up against the sorry Falcons last year, I mean, yeah, it's easy to get confidence week 1. So,
but don't you guys see that too? Like he gets a lot of shit for only winning that one Super Bowl off, like the Legion of Boom, and then he gets the shit for throwing the interception to Malcolm Butler.
I think.
And let's be honest. He should have audible the shit out of that. I think
it's more so they should have ran the ball regardless. Like, I don't know if that's my team. That's the play that they ran.
I don't know whose fault it is, but there's been so many conspiracies about that he actually audibled away from the run on that play.
I'm letting you know. Terrance can tell you because he's played. You know how hard it is to throw the ball within like 5 yards of the goal line?
Yeah, it's hard.
You don't give any of your receivers room to hit their routes. You don't give, however many people you pack in the middle there, you're pretty much forcing. Unless you got like a Julio Jones, a Randy Moss, a Calvin Johnson, like
that route was just like a pick route too. So
everybody ran slants.
I mean, you saw,
Malcolm Butler was just there.
All Malcolm Butler had to do is take one step forward. It was in his arms.
He said we practiced against it so much, and he was getting beat on it every time. And then the one time that he needed to make the play, he made it. So
I'm letting you know that shit is even hard on Madden, bro. Like that's why you see quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Lamar, like they get in the red zone, they just go. Like they're like, why am I going to try to throw this with 5 yards?
Yeah,
like
it definitely is harder because you don't have much room. That's like I feel like the Patriots defense, for example, we might sometimes give up a lot of yards, but we don't give up a lot of points. Like once you get down closer to the end zone, you got less room to work with. So it's definitely harder. I mean, if you don't got a guy like a Julio Jones that's just like, hey, this.
Yeah,
well, think about what he did. Well, think about what he did to Malcolm Butler.
Exactly.
So we ain't gonna talk about that.
And they threw it right into y'all got the
right into Malcolm Butler's hand.
They threw it in. That was an interception every other day. If that was any other wide receiver, that's an interception because Noodle Arm couldn't get him the ball. But thank God Julio's beast moding on him.
I think you just see you see those teams that can air it out, and when they have a lot of space, but a lot of teams crumble when they all right, you got 10 yards to get in. Like Kansas City.
It's hard. It's hard.
Kansas City with Andy Reid because he's so spectacular on offense. With
listen.
Eric Nehm,
I was saying, give my boy Eric his credit now.
No, no, Eric gets his credit.
Hey, listen,
they come up with
if that man don't get a head coaching job soon, I'm gonna be pissed. There's no reason for it.
It's off his past. I mean, they shouldn't be judging him off of it. It's from incidents in I think it was Colorado in 2004 or something.
Yeah,
I think he should not be getting judged for it anymore. But that's just how the league it is.
Hey,
and
why?
Is. Yeah, so we ain't even gotta elaborate on that.
So we're gonna get into the one of the fan favorites here, that overtime segment. And when I tell y'all these questions, they tough now.
I'm gonna answer first, so Nick don't cry.
Listen, I was contemplating telling y'all to put your answer on a piece of paper, and then when I tell you to show it, put it up here.
First of all, Marquise, when we had the one that was Detroit, I said Detroit, and then you sat here and said, "Well, it can't be this." Terrance gave you 47 minutes to answer that question, bro.
It ain't my fault. He ain't put no time limit on it,
bro. I got robbed. I don't care what anybody says. You were getting flamed in the draft chat. I don't even want to talk about it. But anyway.
So we gonna kick this thing off here. Y'all ready?
Do you want to bring up the fantasy draft? Boy, I'm looking stout.
We got each other week 1, bro. We got each other week 1.
And guess who's predicted to win right now?
Yeah. It's because you took no risk.
Hey, we ran the simulations. If I ran it, Terrance wins again this year, and I finished 3rd. Last year I finished 2nd. Terrance got the best top heavy team in that fantasy right now.
I'm not top heavy though.
No, you got big players. You got Josh
I got
Allen,
Rodgers and Diggs.
Oh,
those are
you know what I mean?
cows, bro.
You got home runs. Same thing with Nick. Y'all got home runs at big positions.
Yeah, you was going conservative. You definitely was going conservative. So check me out,
boy.
These questions about to get y'all today. Listen. So y'all ready?
This better not be some in 1957 on
No.
This backup quarterback had his first completion of
I
better not be some shit like that.
We gotta get on this where it has to be a certain time frame.
Nah, I definitely was
asking these questions
I was trying to pick questions that we should, relatively know, just for the simple fact, because I was like, listen, I don't know nothing from back then, so I'm not gonna ask no questions from back then. So first question here to start off the overtime segment. So, who is the player with the most Super Bowl wins. I'm gonna give y'all
This man got his
a
phone out.
list. I'm gonna give
I'll
y'all
take
a
a
list.
picture.
I'm
I'll
gonna give
put it
y'all a
down.
list. So we all know Tom Brady has the most with 7. So I
Yeah.
didn't include Tom Brady in this list here.
Okay.
So the choices are Adam Vinatieri, Charles Haley, Joe Montana, or Terry Bradshaw.
Adam Vinatieri.
Charles Haley.
Nick got it. Charles Haley.
All right.
Sit
that's
down,
one.
Marquise.
All right, boy. How many questions you got? 5?
Nah, I got 6.
Oh, okay.
I
Bet.
wrote
Say less.
6. All right. Nick, one
Adam
right now.
Adam Vinatieri got a couple though, don't he?
Yeah, he got 4. Charles Haley
All
got
right.
5.
Oh my fucking god.
That's why I ruled out Tom Brady because he's the only person with 7. And
Yeah.
I was like, y'all gonna know that one easy. So, second question here: what team drafted Phillip Rivers? The Browns, Chargers, Giants, or Dolphins? What team drafted Phillip Rivers? Browns, Chargers, Giants, or Dolphins?
I can't remember if Philip got sent when Breeze got sent shipped.
I already know the answer to this, but I'm not giving up nothing until Marquise answers.
I'm gonna say Chargers.
It was the Giants.
Yeah, it was the Giants.
Him and Eli got traded on day one.
The day one because Eli said he wouldn't
Eli
play
said
there.
he wasn't playing.
Yeah.
See, if you'd have
Oh
said-
my god, I forgot.
If you'd have said Eli, you said Breeze.
No, because
that's what threw
Breeze
yourself off, though.
Breeze was there and got shipped, so I didn't know if he was in the deal. That's
No, I'm
the thing
saying
I
you
was
threw
confused.
yourself off.
He didn't
Oh,
get
yeah.
shipped. He didn't get shipped until later on.
Yeah, that's what got me.
Yeah, you
All
threw
right,
yourself
0-2.
off. So
0-2.
next question here. Who is the first quarterback to throw for 5,000 yards in a season? Tom Brady, Terry Bradshaw, Joe Montana, or Dan Marino?
Dan Marino.
It's Dan Marino.
All right, both of y'all got that one.
Yeah, there we go. 1-3.
All right, next question.
That's
here.
because my pops a fucking huge Miami fan, bro.
Who has the least amount of receiving yards out of these receivers? Jerry Rice, Larry Fitzgerald, Terrell Owens, or Randy Moss?
Randy Moss.
I know it's not Jerry Rice or Larry Fitz, so I'm not going either one of them. I'll go Terrell Owens.
All right, Keith's got that one, Randy.
God.
Yeah. It's crazy because people forget, like, Randy had that stretch on the Raiders where he was just there.
Yeah, he did not want to be there.
He was just there.
He walked off the field, all that. He was not playing. He didn't want to be there. I should have gone that way. I forgot. Terrell Owens played like he played
way too damn long.
Yeah, he did.
With the Bills. Come on now.
And Jerry was such a.
He tried to
I
make
was
a comeback.
Like, this man really put Jerry in there. Like, I was like,
yeah.
what?
The fact that you put Jerry, you actually made that a 50-50 because Jerry and Fitz. I mean, them two were productive. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald going to play till he's 65, bro.
Was that Chicago? He tried to make a comeback with. Who was that? It was in
Jerry
the
did try to
preseason
make
game.
a comeback. He
Terrell
did.
Owens.
No, you're talking about the Bills, bro. It was the Bills.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
that was the last team he was with.
He was trying to make a comeback, and he was playing the preseason and everything.
That's the thing, though.
He had that catch on the sideline where he was like.
That's the thing, though, with receivers like T.O. and like kind of like receivers that didn't get a lot of separation, but their routes were so crisp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like T.O. ran really good routes.
T.O. was so physical too.
Yeah.
That's fast though. He's fast.
He's fast, but like people are saying that about Jamar Chase. Like he doesn't get any separation. Not comparing him to T.O. But these dudes are so physical and run good routes that if they ain't getting that much separation, it's fine. They're gonna win the ball, the fight for the ball.
We already seen Julio doesn't need separation.
Exactly. Julio, and it's crazy because Julio has a good release and doesn't get that much separation sometimes.
Yes, sir. So now we got next question here. What player set the NFL record for most sacks per game with an average of 1.75? So we got LT, Lawrence Taylor. We got Andre Tippett, Reggie White, or Deacon Jones.
Reggie White.
It's Reggie White.
All right, both of y'all got that one.
What's that? 3-4.
Yeah, I got one more question.
Oh, Nick going first this one.
Hell no, nah. We running the same way we've been running.
Hey,
Nah,
then we can't pick the same answer for this one then.
All right. So, which player scored a touchdown in 18 straight games? O.J. Simpson, Jim Brown, Emmitt Smith, or Lenny Moore?
Say them names again.
I'm going Jim Brown. I'm going first. Fuck all
O.J.
that.
Simpson, Jim Brown, Emmitt Smith, or Lenny Moore?
O.J. Simpson.
All right, both of y'all was wrong. So Nick won this week.
Dirty.
It was Lenny Moore. He went 18 straight games with a touchdown.
Hey, you know what's funny?
I'm on a 2-week streak. You can't tell me nothing.
You didn't win last week.
I won last week. I don't care what anybody says.
No.
You can't tell me different. I got two of them answers.
Hey,
Terrance was the softest moderator last week.
Hey, listen, we ain't gonna do that now. We ain't doing that.
You let Marquise change his answer after I answered.
Hey,
Bro,
I'm
that
you
was
know,
so soft.
I almost came back from down 3-1. Like I was like Braun, boy. Or like that Golden State. Hey, if he would have let me come back, I would have been talking so much.
I would have had to
shit.
come up with another question over here.
Bro, I would have been talking so much shit if Nick just let me come back.
So now to end us off here, we got Keith's gonna give us the word of the day.
Okay, I got, it's not really a word, kind of like a quote, I would say. People are big on success and they deem it as like everything in the world. But this is from Winston Churchill. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. So I feel like a lot of people, are scared to fail. So they, failure is part of the game,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, my thing is I feel like the only failure is giving up. Because, before you finally get that dub, you're going to take a lot of losses. And when you finally get that dub,
you're going to take a lot of L's.
And when you get that dub, though, it's going to feel so good. So, going through that struggle and the trials and tribulations and everything you have to go through to get to that dub is going to be worth it. Because, once you get it, take off with it.
And yeah, before one of y'all say some shit, that this is a Russell Westbrook jersey that I got, and he got traded to the damn Lakers. Don't worry, I'm gonna I got this the day he got traded. Heated, damn, got it for me. I'm heated, but hey, don't worry, mind your business.
Hey, it's all good. It might be adventures one day. It might be worth some money, some coins. So, appreciate y'all listening, tuning in to us. This has been Cover Forward with the guys.
Don't worry. I had to give up my overtime run. It's all right. We're gonna get it back.
I'm on a two-week streak. I'm gonna continue.
1 week.
Actually, I think I'm host next week, so I won't get to continue. But I'm on a 2-week streak. It's all good.
Yeah, all right.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Have a good one.